Hi, everyone. This is Shelley, and welcome back. This is number 15, episode 15 of SNOWED. The Michael Snow is a fraud story. If you just watched 14 and you saw, of course, Mr. Snow getting some cancer cut out of his back, of course, yes, he obviously was having a procedure. So let me clear that up. He was having moles removed off of his back. But to my knowledge, no, they are not cancerous. And yeah, here's the thing. He's putting all this stuff out there. He's telling his own mother he had cancer. It's hard to disbelieve somebody when they're telling their own mother. So think about that. Like, some of you are still wondering why I didn't leave. Like, why did I trust him? This guy was good. He's good at what he does. So a lot of things happened in 2021, and I'm almost certain it was, I want to say it was maybe the worst year. The bills were so high that things started getting cut off. There were times that I lived without hot water. Yeah, I am so incredibly embarrassed to say this out loud, but I want you to know how far down this man took me. I would have to sort of bathe in the kitchen. I would have to heat myself up some water. Yeah, and just sort of bathe in the kitchen. I did that pretty much all summer of 2021. It was terrible. At one point, my power was cut off. I couldn't work. So my bill was so high that they came and shut the power off. Mr. Snow went outside and ripped the lock off the power box that Sask Power had put on. And I was terrified, absolutely terrified. Oh my God, like, this could burn my house down. Again, it's not like I could pay the bill. I had to work. So embarrassing. I can't, to be able to put this out there, this is so embarrassing. So during that same time frame, when the summer of 2021 and things were now getting real, my power had been cut off. My energy had been cut off. At one point, my water had even been cut off. I lived without Wi-Fi, and at points, my phone had been cut off because I couldn't pay the bills. You have to understand that at this point, I had to cling on to the hope that he was telling me the truth, that he had money coming. And he kept telling me the same thing over and over again. My money's coming, my money's coming. And when he was home, because it was almost like the less money I had, the more he was away, which was fine. I was to the point where it really wasn't a relationship. I didn't want him around. I couldn't stomach watching the drinking anymore and having him sleep, all day. He'd stay up all night and sleep all day. I just can't even describe to you how hellish it really was at that point. And my mental health it was a mess. At that point, I had called my doctor so many times that she finally said to me, "There's nothing more I can do for you. You need to see a psychologist." Well, I fought that. I was not crazy. No. I finally had to. So yeah, that's how far down he took me. There's so much to say in this episode, because so much happened at the same time. Everything was kind of falling apart. Everything was falling apart at this time. Finally, one of my very best friends discovered that my power had been out for a really long time at that point. And that was truly, I think, probably the epitome of embarrassment for me. However, that wasn't, the worst. I really, really thought that maybe this was the absolute worst thing that could happen, but it actually wasn't because Mr. Snow was driving my car quite a lot because it looked better when he was doing business than the Jeep. He was putting a lot of kilometers on. Again, that concerned me a lot because my Jeep was my car was leased, and I didn't go very far. So I didn't have a big amount of kilometers I was allowed. And of course he would tell me, don't even worry about it. It's fine. Like, my money's going to come. Blah, 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 blah. My money, my money, my money. And I would say to him, like, if you're driving this out to Ontario or out to BC, like, it's time to change the oil. I did. I changed the oil. Like, not a problem. I've changed the oil. Don't worry about it, Mr. Snow would say to me. Turns out he did not change the oil. So he blew my motor in the car. And but that's okay, because shortly after that, it was repossessed. I've never lived like this in my life. And I'm so embarrassed to be putting it out there. Okay, I had to take a little break, but I'm back. So my power was off. I couldn't work. I really couldn't do anything. I was really stuck. I couldn't work on my books. I mean, I couldn't watch TV. I couldn't do anything. I didn't even have a car. Mr. Snow kept promising me that money was coming. Money was coming. He was going to get some money. He was going to get some money. He was going to get some money to pay the bills. It wasn't happening. And you also need to understand, I think earlier I said people didn't understand why I didn't leave. Well, number one, it's my house. I couldn't leave. I couldn't leave. It's my house. I had nowhere to go. Okay. Whew, this is a hard one. I needed to get my power turned back on. I sold off part of my business to pay that bill. So at around that same time, things were really starting to, things were really weighing heavily on me. I can't even describe to you. My entire body ached. My mental health was terrible. And the self-loathing I had for myself at that point was pretty bad. I allowed this to happen to myself. I had nobody to blame but myself.